It doesn't say really how much, so 2,500 rent a month is definitely nothing compared to the income. Okay, so yeah, keep piling up. You will get it eventually. It's talking about maybe rental, all right? Salary. Okay, so yes, if you want to buy a rental, probably better off buying something for yourself. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say about this question. All right, let's go to the next one. Should I buy a house now or rent for 10 years and save money? Wow, interesting. I'm 30-year-old male and I'm really confused right now. I need some advice. I've been thinking a lot about my future. I have a great job and good income. Life is going okay. And like many people my age, I'm thinking, should I buy a house now or should I keep renting and save money? Okay, that's where I'm trying to decide. Option one, buy a house now. I could get a small house with a loan. I'd have to pay monthly EMIs, home loan payments for 15, 20 years. It would be tight but possible. The good part is I'd have my own place. I would have no worries about rent. I'd feel more stable. But the bad part is it would take away a big part of the monthly income. I wouldn't be able to save much after paying all my bills. Option 2. Keep renting for 10 more years and save 50,000. This means I continue to rent and live a bit more freely. I could save money every month and build up a good amount in 10 years. Maybe even invest some of it. Then when I'm 40, I could use the money to buy a house or make a big down payment. This option gives me more financial freedom now, but I'm not sure if I'll regret not buying earlier. Sometimes I feel like I'll be wasting money on rent, but other times I feel it's smarter to save first and buy later. I don't have kids, no, so I'm flexible, but I want to make a good decision that helps my future. If you've been in a similar situation or have any advice, please share. I would appreciate your thoughts. Okay, so this is a dichotomy that I see here that may or may not be true. So buying a house and pay monthly loan payments, it would be tight but possible. Like if we need to know the numbers here to be able to determine. So what does that mean, tight as possible? It sounds like the rent is much cheaper than the mortgage will be. For example, if you live in New York, right, it's much harder to afford a mortgage than to rent. Obviously, rent is high as well, but still, it's more attainable than mortgage in New York. Okay, if that's the situation, then yeah, you can buy, keep saving, keep renting. But yeah, rent will also like 10 years. You don't have to do it for 10 years potentially. Maybe focus on saving while you're renting and not for 10 years, but 3, 5 years. Renting is not throwing away money if you're not ready to purchase. To be ready to purchase, you need to have a good down payment and a down payment. So in buying a property, there is several variables. There is the price, okay? Then there is the payment that you will get, and there's down payment. Obviously, the bigger down payment, the smaller the monthly payment will be, okay? And the price is a variable as well. You can buy a cheaper house or you can buy a more expensive house. And based on those variables, you can determine and decide. You want about 25% of your income to go towards your living. Okay, so whether it's mortgage, if I make $4,000 a month, I don't want more than $1,000 going to my rent or my mortgage. Okay, so if my rent is $1,000, I'm good. If my mortgage is $1,000, well, might be good, but then I need other expenses to maintain and upkeep the house. So that's the variable. So he's saying that sounds like that renting is much cheaper where he's at than having a mortgage. However, if you buy that house and you sit on it for own it for 10 years, it's going to appreciate, likely, of course, historically speaking, right? So these are the options you can go with. Again, without knowing numbers, I cannot determine which is better or not. So either share the numbers or try to figure it out, my friend. All right, let's go to the next one. Does it ever make financial sense to rent instead of buy a home? Yes, it makes sense. Can I ever come out with more money in the end if I decided to rent? If so, how? Or buy? Oh, excuse me. Or will buying pretty much always lead me to more money in the long term? Well, firstly, it's like renting a vehicle, right? If you make $1 jillion a year and leasing a car would be $1,000 for you a month, you will always have a nice car, a new car, and then you don't need to worry about maintenance and stuff like that. Technically, yes. But if you buy a vehicle with cash, then you own a vehicle, right? It's going to go down in value, unlike property. Property usually goes up in value. So with property, with time passage, it will appreciate, right? So you will have equity. And once you pay it off, you have a big, big chunk in that property. With rent, you're never going to get there. Okay? There are advantages of rent, right? Again, even if for mere mortals, what's the advantage of rent? So, for example, I'm moving into the new city. I don't know the area, so renting for a year will help me to determine, okay, to find out what's a good area, what's not good area. Okay, so that's the advantage of that. If you go into a new area and you just buy a house, you might get it in a very bad neighborhood. You don't want that. So that's the advantage of renting. Okay, renting also helps you to get ahead and save the down payment for a house. If you're not ready yet, rent is the only option. If you just got out of your mama's house, rent. Obviously, don't buy, rent, but save up. See where you want to be. See how you want to plan. How you want to level up in the wealth game to be able to afford a mortgage, to be able to afford a property.